Hey guys, welcome to another video on the Art Lucas channel. Art Lucas, today I'll show you step by step how to make this drawing. I'm going to teach you a quick, easy and cool tutorial. This transformation, actually to be honest, is not really a transformation, right? But it's one of my favorite Kakashis. So let's get started here guys with our tutorial, alright? Just a reminder, I'm leaving the link in the description for you to become my drawing students. In ProArt, you'll learn how to draw your favorite characters or even create your own characters. Well, to make our drawing today, I was studying which sketch would be best for us to be able to do it. And I came to a conclusion that if we make a grid on our paper here, it will be better and easier for us to do. So how do we start? We start by dividing our paper in half twice, one line horizontally and the other vertically. And then we're going to find the middle again at the top and the middle again at the bottom. Okay, this one turned out a little crooked. Let me just fix it, alright? So it doesn't end up as a crooked sketch because that could mess up our drawing in the final artwork. And then from here, we can go ahead and make our drawing, alright? Reminder, in the course, I teach you step by step how to create your own sketch if you can't do it. Well, we're going to start with a very important line, which is this line right here, look. Which is the line of Kakashi's own mask. Look, so it's kind of oval. See this line right here, look. This line shows where the face and mask split. Since we've started the mask, let's finish it now. We make the little ears here, okay? Look. Round this area more. And to make it look rounder, do you leave this line here, see? It must follow this direction, see? But you don't erase it, you only erase it right there at the very end, and then it gives that impression. And here, look, near the eye. We're going to pull the line in a little bit and then bring it back out so we can also add some variation here in the drawing. Let's do the following. We're going to have to draw the hands by hand because it's just one that's holding the mask. And guys, in my course, I teach you how to draw hands. So here, I'm going to do it a bit more freehand. I pulled it down and now I'm going to pull it up here. This line and I pull it over here. And now look, come here and take it all the way down, this finger here, okay? And now we're going to do the others here, all in sequence, one after the other. Look, 2 fingers, it's already done. Let's do the third one. And look what happens, the fourth one. Up to here, everything's fine. We're not going to do the 5th finger, okay? That would be the thumb, it's behind holding. So only these 4 fingers of his will show, okay? The 5th one, which is the thumb, is behind holding the mask. So we come here, finish doing it, look, see? My students also draw with the same ease that you're seeing. You just have to become my students and you'll be the next ones. Come on now, we're gonna do it here. Look at the eye. This finger of his here, look, it's right on top of one of the eyes of the mask. So we come here and do it, okay? Do it here, also inside here, which is the eye opening, right, of the mask. And now here we come and do the other one. Let's do it here. Look, 1, 2, the third one won't show up properly, so we won't even do it. So look, 1, 2. All right, guys, it's not hard, right? It's actually pretty easy. But that doesn't mean we don't need to put effort into our drawing. We've kind of already made the mask. Now we just need to draw Kakashi well from up here. We'll draw his face. Okay, and we're going to take this face all the way down there. Up to here, we bring his face. You can do it here. Look at the neck. Just to make sure it's nice and straight. First, before we do the eye in there, let's add a bit of hair, okay? Watch. We're making several small strands here. Look. Let's make them because the eye will be right here in the middle of these strands. And here a strand comes down, look, which finishes the little hairline and already makes his ear. And here's another strand, look. And here's the ear, okay? Now we'll do his eye, which is right in the middle here. So we start by drawing the eyebrow first. See, do you see the eyebrow? And now, yes, we're going to draw his eye, look. And here, guys, you have the option to draw whatever kind of eye you want for Kakashi. I'm going to draw the Sharingan itself. But you can just draw a normal eye, or you can draw the Sharingan itself. I think maybe just drawing the normal eye, it doesn't have to be the Sharingan, right guys? And then we draw his eye scar. Okay guys, now we just need to finish the hair. Down here, we're going to draw some parts of his hairline. Okay, we finished this part here. Now up top, we'll do it too, but not anymore. Let's finish the hair all at once so we can wrap everything up here at once. This part of his hair. And then we go over and layer all of his hair, okay? I'm doing it randomly and we'll see how it turns out, okay? I'm not following any reference. I'm not following anything to do this part of his hair. So we're just doing it to see how it's going to turn out. Including the matter of the hair volume and everything, right? So, since I'm kind of doing it freely and I'm choosing to do it this way just to see how it's gonna look in the end, right? And then what happens? Sometimes I overdo or underdo my hair. And then we have to adjust it later, but I trust my instincts. Let's see how it turns out. I think it turned out well, didn't it, guys? I did this part more randomly, but I think it looks good. When outlining this hair, just go straight, okay? To finish this part, here we're going to do his shoulder. Draw the shoulder, okay? Here. 2 lines here, alright? Let's outline this drawing. It turned out nice. Look, it ended up being an 8-minute tutorial just for the sketch, but I still think that's a good amount of time. The tutorial isn't very long or too short. Let's outline this drawing to color it. And starting the outline now, guys, I'm not going to show the whole outline. I'll just show part of it. So the video doesn't end up being too long and tiring for you to watch. Alright, let's make this outline really neat, okay? And then once we're done, we'll come back and start coloring our drawing. And to color, I started using Eco pencils. I took the brown one and did the shadows on the face, on the skin part. Then I went back with the burgundy, darkening some parts of the shadow where I wanted and reinforcing our gradient. Next came the pink, which is the skin tone. First, I applied it to the shadowed areas, then created a shiny effect in the center of his face, see? And then after that, I used white to finish this part. And then I started coloring his eye, using black on the upper part to create a shadow and red on the lower part. And continuing with the black and red, we're going to work on the parts of the eyes and these marks here on the side of his mask, okay? Well, from here we're going to start using markers to color our drawing, okay? So I'm going to start here usually with the hand since those are already darker shadows. So I started with a really dark gray, which you could actually use black to make those shadows there, okay? Then come in with gray. And if you don't have more shades, you alternate the pressure you're applying to the pencil or maybe the marker too, because that way you can get these different pigmentations from the same grade, from the same pencil. You just have to do this and remember that I teach all of this in the course, okay? Then I started to add some shading here on his mask, just a very basic shadow because it's a white mask. But I didn't want to leave it just white, so I added these gray shadows, which turned out really cool. And then we just start working on his hair. I started with the darkest shade, going strand by strand, you see? Then I began the strand by strand effect to make our drawing look cooler. After that, I change the shade to a gray that's a little lighter than the dark one. And then automatically after that, we'll change it once more to a gray that's a little lighter. So we can finish our drawing and get this result, which is what you're seeing on the screen. Look, I personally love this drawing, but I really hope you are able to make this drawing too, okay? That's it. See you next time.